Today on Rappler, Team Pinoy senatorial candidates Bam Aquino and Grace Poe are the biggest gainers in the recent Pulse Asia survey. Interior Secretary Mar Roxas discusses disengagement efforts with the brother of Sulu Sultan Jamalul Kiram III. And the Vatican prepares for the start of conclave Tuesday. Hello, I'm Maria Ressa. Welcome to Rappler, your social news network. Administration candidates Bam Aquino and Grace Poe get the biggest gains in the latest Pulse Asia senatorial preference survey. The cousin of President Benigno Aquino gains 11.8 percentage points, resulting in a 43.2 rating. Aquino's jump is enough to put him in a statistical tie for 4th to 9th place with former Las Piñas Representative Cynthia Villar, San Juan Representative J.V. Ejercito, and Nancy Binay. Poe gets an 11.2 percentage points boost in her rating, landing her in the 4th to 10th spot, just a few points ahead of re-electionist Senator Coco Pimentel. Senators Loren Legarda and Chis Escudero continue to lead the survey, sharing the 1st to 3rd place with Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Completing the Magic 12 are Senator Gringo Onasan, ranking 8th through 15th, Cagayan Representative Jack Enrile, ranking 9th to 15th, and Senator Sonny Trillanes, also ranking 9th to 15th. Some sink, some swim. Team Pinoy candidates received the latest survey with mixed feelings, and some of them are tweaking their campaigns. Natasha Gutierrez reports.
Team Pinoy bet still dominates surveys but expect changes in strategy, at least for some. In the latest Pulse Asia survey conducted in February, social entrepreneur and presidential cousin Bam Aquino joins former census chief Grace Poe as the highest climbers. Aquino's wife and proxy, Timmy, is ecstatic over the results, while Poe refuses to be complacent.
I'm very grateful and thankful for the trust, but I continue to pray and work hard. And I'm changing my ads already so that my real advocacy will be known.
But while Poe intends to try new tactics, Abet, who has yet to make it to the Magic 12, is sticking to her strategy. A confident Risa Hontiveros has no plans of changing the direction of her campaign, since her ratings this time are higher than when she ran in 2010.
No plans to change strategy, still just the old-fashioned but tested do more of what is known as a good campaign. Keep on reaching out on the ground sa iba't ibang networks who will vote for and campaign for me.
Along with Hontiveros, former Senators Jamie Madrigal and June Magsaysay are still outside the top 12, and so is Aurora Representative Sonny Angara. Campaign manager Franklin Drilon says he will focus on getting the 4 into the winning circle.
Kailangan po ipapakita namin na kami isang team po at sama-sama, kaya po ini-endorso ng malalakas naming kandidato yung buong pangkat. Hindi po kami nagkakanya-kanya. Nagkakaisa kami, isang team po kami mga kampanya.
Team Pinoy re-electionists Loren Legarda, Chis Escudero, Alan Peter Cayetano, and Coco Pimentel are also in the winning circle, as well as Las Piñas Representative Cynthia Villar. Senator Antonio Trillanes sits at number 12, but he saw the largest drop among all candidates. The 12 also includes United Nationalist Alliance Bet's Senator Gringo Honasan, Cagayan Representative Jack Enrile, San Juan Representative J.V. Ejercito, and the Vice President's daughter Nancy Binay. Two other Una Bets, former Senators Mig Zubiri and Richard Gordon, are just outside the magic circle. With the election still 2 months away, numbers may change. Team Pinoy has more bets in the Magic 12, but with Una fighting for slots, a 12-0 win for the administration may be a greater challenge than imagined. Natasha Gutierrez, Rappler, Quezon.
Hounded by controversy, former Lanao del Norte Representative Makabangkit Lanto declines his appointment as Commission on Elections Commissioner, quote, with deep regret. Lanto writes the president a letter saying, quote, I have arrived at this decision owing in large part to the controversy that surrounded my appointment. A former ambassador, Lanto was unseated as Lanao del Norte's 2nd District Representative in 1994 because of alleged poll fraud. The House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal ruled he cheated to win the elections. He also used to work for Team Pinoy campaign manager Senator Franklin Drilon. Lanto admits Drilon recommended him for the COMELEC post. Drilon declines further comment on Lanto, saying, quote, that's a decision he felt was something he had to do to put an end to an issue without any basis. United Nationalist Alliance senatorial candidate Mig Zubiri welcomes Lanto's move, while fellow UNABET Dick Gordon criticizes the palace's appointment.
That's the best thing that he could do kasi syempre may konting bahay-dungi sa kanyang pangalan dahil sa mga kasong na-file sa kanya dati.
It shows poor research on the part of the palace. There's always knee-jerk reactions without studying their moves.
Aside from Lanto, the palace also appointed election lawyer Bernadette Sardillo, but she too turns it down. With the two palace appointees refusing to assume two vacant poll commissioners' posts, the country's election chief is urging the president to pick from among insiders at COMELEC. COMELEC Chair Sixto Brillantes Jr. says the poll body's work will be easier if the new commissioners already have a working knowledge of the processes in an automated exercise. COMELEC is also pressed for time in the preparations because elections are only 2 months away. Interior Secretary Mar Roxas and the brother of Sulu Sultan Jamalul Kiram III discuss disengagement as part of efforts to seek an end to the 4-week Sabah standoff. Roxas and Bantilan Esmail Kiram II meet for nearly 2 hours in Camp Crame, Quezon City. The two refuse to talk about specifics of what they spoke about, saying the details will first have to be reported to President Aquino. Ismail Kiram is the younger brother of Jamalul and the elder brother of Agbimudin, also known as Raja Muda. He led the Kiram followers in Sabah and escaped the arrests. Secretary says he gave the Kirams updates on government efforts to coordinate with Malaysia to ensure the safety of innocent civilians in Sabah. Roxas says the Kirams in turn raised their questions and concerns.
Pag-usapan lang na halimbawa nasa sa publiko naman na sinabi nung leader ng Malaysia na pagbaba-armas ang pinaka kondisyon para magtigil putukan. At nung pinarating ni Sultan Ismail na bukas ang Malaysia para sa pag-uusap ay pinaghandaan ito ng pamahalaan. Subalit, hindi na nga natuloy ito sa anong dahilan, hindi ko alam.
Cardinals assemble in the Vatican's Sistine Chapel for the start of the conclave Tuesday, March 12, in a centuries-old ritual. All the cardinals swear a solemn oath of secrecy and hold a first vote where the challenge will be to find a 266th pope able to deal with the many challenges facing the Church. The Church faces growing secularism in the West and rising Islamic radicalism. Internally, its Roman Curia is hounded by infighting over sexual abuse by pedophile priests and cover-ups known as VatiLeaks. The 115 cardinal electors, cardinals below the age limit of 80, are unlikely to veer far from conservative views of Benedict XVI and his predecessor John Paul II, since they were all appointed by the two popes. Seasoned Vatican observers admit the field is still wide open, though the most often cited names are 3 cardinals in the same mold of Benedict: Angelo Scola, the Archbishop of Milan; Odilo Scherer, the Archbishop of Sao Paulo; and Mark Ouellet, Prefect of the Congregation of Bishops. A 2/3 majority, 77 votes or more, is needed to elect a pope. The voting ballots will be burnt at around 1100 GMT following 2 rounds of voting in the morning and 1800 GMT after 2 rounds in the afternoon. The smoke from a chimney above the Sistine Chapel turns black to signal that there has been no decision. It turns white if a pope is elected and the cardinal has accepted his nomination. The new pope retires to the Room of Tears next to the chapel before emerging onto a balcony over St. Peter's Square to cheering crowds and the cry of Habemus Papam, which means we have a pope. Well, let's now look at Rappler's Rap for today, a list of the 10 most important events around the world you shouldn't miss. At number 4, a close friend of the fallen Paralympic star Oscar Pistorius says the 6-time Paralympics winner is, quote, on the verge of suicide as he fights a charge of premeditated murder. Pistorius is accused of murdering his girlfriend Riva Steenkamp on Valentine's Day. Close friend Mike Azzi says Pistorius has been, quote, a broken man since the incident. Azzi adds, quote, he just always seems to mention Riva and to ask us to pray for her and her family. At number 7, The Philippines welcomes the release of its 21 UN peacekeepers after they were freed by Syrian rebels this weekend. The members of a UN force monitoring a 1974 ceasefire between Syria and Israel were kidnapped Wednesday. The abduction is a grim reminder that 2 years after the Arab Spring brought hopes of democracy across the Middle East and North Africa, Syria is still mired in a devastating civil war. The United Nations says, quote, Syria is spiraling towards full-scale disaster. At number 10, Japan marks the second anniversary of a deadly tsunami that killed nearly 19,000 and sparked the worst nuclear accident in a generation. In a national ceremony in Tokyo, the government observes a moment of silence at 2:46 p.m. Japanese time, the moment a 9.0 magnitude earthquake struck on March 11, 2011. The quake triggered a killer tsunami that swallowed coastal communities and forced the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant to melt down. For the full top 10, visit Rappler.com's The Wrap. The Philippine Basketball Association issues a lifetime ban on former NBA veteran and Petron Blaze Boosters import Ronaldo Balkman over a choking incident Friday. Balkman held his teammate Arwin Santos by the neck after a frustrating loss against the Alaska Aces. Santos was actually trying to calm the import down. Balkman has apologized for the incident. The two players appeared on TV together on Sunday, with Santos asking the PBA and its fans to give Balkman a second chance. The PBA, taking into account Balkman's history of losing his temper, also fined the import 250,000 pesos. The San Miguel Corporation, which owns Petron and two other teams in the PBA, also issues an apology, but says it will reevaluate its participation in the league. Every story on Rappler has a mood meter, which gives you 8 emotions to choose from. Click how you feel, and your vote comes down to the mood navigator in the middle of the front page, which crowdsources the mood of the day. It also, if you take a look, gives you the top 10 stories that have created that mood. If we take a look today, covered by elections from Rome here, Tagle's words that struck the world, why Tagle is netizens' top Papa Bill, to Malaysia. All of these red circles have to do with Malaysia. This one, if you are Tausug, they will arrest you. The Philippines saying it's angry about alleged reports of human rights violations, 67% angry. On Malaysian side, it's ours, insists Malaysian PM, 75% angry. That has gotten the most votes of the day. Today, most people are angry. Well, that's Rappler's Newscast for today, Monday, March 11, 2013. Visit Rappler.com and watch our newscast Monday to Friday. Tell us how you feel on our mood meter and help us crowdsource the mood of the day. I'm Maria Ressa. As we say at Rappler, tomorrow begins today.